Hey, it's Vanessa, and I thought I'd start with a different entry point by having my husband Paul join me for this video. We are making this on Monday, April 8th, 2024. And we know there are many shares out there right now. I've done a couple on my own about the eclipse energies, but we wanted to bring a different kind of approach to it and talk about it from more of the perspective of being a couple and what it's like to be uh, a new paradigm couple, a new earth couple, moving through the changes and the transformations that are going on in the world today and in our own lives, from also being very energetically sensitive, as we both are, right? You may find that when you are energy sensitive, your intuition is very heightened, and so you navigate the world from a different perspective. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of give a preview of what we might talk about. This is unscripted, and we're just gonna kind of go off the cuff. So thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. How have the eclipse energies been for you?
Well, it's funny because we see all these things on Instagram and other places, and with all this XYZ PDQ happens to people, but I've mostly just been like tired, needing like a lot of sleep. And it's like you can ignore that and try to push through it and keep on doing things, or you can just listen and take care of yourself and feel better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. It's like other times beyond this eclipse period have felt more complex and energetically nuanced. And for me, it's just been basically tired, gotta rest. Though I'm sure other people have had very different experiences, right?
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing with the energy, is it affects us all differently. And no matter what people are saying about the eclipse or about what you might be experiencing, ultimately it comes down to how you feel inside. And I want to say one of the reasons, well, what prompted me to bring Paul on today is I was going for a run this morning, and I kept having this image of the two of us recording a video. Normally it's just me. Obviously, you're probably more used to that, but I had the image of both of us, and um, it had me thinking, and I proposed the idea to him, and then he initially resisted, and then we had a huge conversation about, like, you know, yeah, just about the resistance that can come up for us when we try and do things in a new or different kind of way, or we
Well,
realize that we might have triggers that we didn't know that we had.
let me say something here.
Okay.
It's that it brought up around, like, when she does videos, she's in a bubble. If anybody else is here, we don't exist, or we should get out of the house. It's her world. And I'm like, me and that? And it just brought up a lot of stuff. And also, I don't like having my picture taken generally, which was news to her. But she knows I don't like to have selfies taken with her. But then she didn't know just in general I don't like having my picture taken. So it just hit a lot of these buttons. But then she reminded me that it's also the Chiron and Aries. And yes, no,
Chiron is exact with the eclipse,
yeah.
and Chiron is the wounded healer.
Mhm.
And we both have Chiron in Aries, which is about self-worth, and it's also in Aries in general. The energy of Aries is initiation and independence and doing things differently and how you feel about yourself. And if you have Chiron in Aries, you sometimes can feel like you want to hide, or your self-image can be distorted, or your self-worth could be lower than you want it to be.
Yeah.
And we both have Chiron in Aries, so we're like deep in the reconfiguration of our own self-worth stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I took time after that whole blow up to just write my guides, just write myself, and I don't know, it's interesting. They're like, yeah, there's all these things that are going on in the world, energetically wise, locally, blah, 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 blah. You could cite as reasons to be like stumbling because of the energy, the eclipse, the yada yada. Like, but what if you could just entertain stepping above that, despite all that stuff, still feeling solid in yourself, still feeling clear? It may feel impossible, but then what if in doing so you start to like flake off the wall and the shell that's around you that sort of shields you from living a full life? Like, okay. And then after I did that, I'm like, yeah, I'll do a video with Vanessa. So here we are.
Yeah. And this is, I mean, that's a perfect example of why I wanted to have Paul on, because, I think we have unique perspectives to share, each of us individually. And oh gosh, there's so many things that I would like to say. I think that we have, sometimes we don't see who is in our life that's actually supporting us with their wisdom. And I think sometimes when we get to see more of the full picture of that support system and that support network, we start to realize like, oh, wait, this person really helped me with this, and this person really helped me with that. And I know for me, I've been on like a very intentional healing journey for the last 20 plus years. And Paul has been in my life since 2001. So he's played a huge role in my healing journey, and his wisdom and his patience and and loyalty and bottom lining and presence has made a huge difference for me. It's allowed for my voice to become more refined in the process of talking excessively to him. Yeah, I just think it's important to start to think about ourselves as less in isolation, and like we're in our little like, this is my zone of genius and this is my gift and this is my offering to the world. I think there's a very sort of individualistic approach, at least as an American. And so I thought, like, why not do something different and set an example and share some of what my support system looks like? And also, I'll turn it back over to you in a minute.
No, go on.
But also because his Chiron in Aries, and I'll explain a little bit about that in just a sec if you don't know what I'm talking about. But his Chiron is in Aries in his 7th house. The 7th house is the house of relationship and committed partnership. It's the house that I as his wife would be in. And so I thought,
we live in the same house.
We live in the same house. So what would be a nicer, respectful, reverent, sacred way to just kind of say thank you and also acknowledge his presence and like rewire, reconfigure the Chiron storyline, right? So if he has wounds about his self-worth in the context of partnership and relationship, what would be a nicer gift for me to then say, I value you, you are worthy to me, let's make a video together, your wisdom is appreciated. So this is kind of like also my way of being that model, like sharing that model, and also gifting him with a new story, because that's kind of what this eclipse opportunity and window is like, how are we going to create a new version of ourselves? How are we going to create a new story for our lives? And we can do that at any time with ourselves individually and also with who we're in relationship with.
No doubt.
Yeah. Anything else you would like to add to this?
I was hoping that Zavi, our cat, was just walking by. He's an adult cat, but he still has a kittenish, squeaky voice. I was hoping he would chip in, but no.
That's all.
She said it's good. As are we all.
He's walking behind. Maybe you'll see a tail if you're lucky.
He's more on curious exploration at this point.
So to just give you an overview, if you're new to this whole Chiron and eclipse energy, today again is a solar eclipse. It means different things to different people. We've got, the science perspective, the historical perspective, the collective, the energetic. I always look at the energy and the energy psychology perspective. And Chiron is known as the wounded healer. And it's like the theme, the energetic theme that you're kind of working with and dealing with over the course of your life, where you'll make progress, but the wound never like fully goes away, right? It's like, oh, there it is again. And so you just get triggered repeatedly with it. And so
it's an opportunity to revisit and refine and improve upon it.
Totally.
You have in that area.
And that's all that astrology or understanding energy or these big, portal windows, like they're not meant to turn you upside down in a way that you are a victim to that energy. They're simply going, hey, here's an area to pay attention to. Here's an area to shine some light on. And so Chiron is the wounded healer. It's exact to this eclipse. That just basically means your wounds might be louder today, which means you have access to really making some significant change, transformation with them. So I hope you take that opportunity today.
But also, I want to say something though. It's like, yes, this is a big opportunity moment to make dramatic change, and be all scorpionic about it. Yes, but it's also, be gentle on yourself. It's like if you make even like some small movement towards shifting what needs to be shifting in life, that's big. Because like sometimes the fear of these things is bigger than the actual thing itself. If you just allow that you can be open to things, feeling, being, doing different. Yeah, so much is possible. And of course, today can be massively transformative to you, tra-la-la. But don't feel pressure on yourself that you must massively change everything about yourself today. Because I'll always be
so American. It's like big change.
Well, it also feels like in astrology, it seems like every other few days, it's like this is conjuncting and star trine, yada yada. Blah, 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 blah. So there'll be other opportunities to do big stuff in your life.
Always,
yes.
Always. And again, no matter what is going on, simply pay attention to your own energy and how you're needing to navigate the external world based on whatever's going on internally for you, right? That's like the dance that we're in right now. And we don't realize often that all these energies shifting within us affect how we're in relationship with other people and how we show up in the world. And
how you see the world.
How you see the world, right? And your place within it. All of those are influenced through this energy filter that we're looking through. And when you start to work with energy, you really begin to give yourself more of a sense of not just opportunity for change, but freedom and peace inside of yourself. And that's something that can't be bought, and it's something that can't be taken away from you ever. So I think that's all I have to say.
Me too.
Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope it's a nourishing day for you. And also I trust it's going to be whatever it's going to be for you. So just know it's just a day. And we learn to ride these waves of energy as best as we can with the support systems that we have. Make sure to acknowledge and give grace to the people in your life and the animals in your life. It's too bad you couldn't meet our cat right now. But with that, I'm going to say thanks for tuning in and thanks for joining me.
My pleasure.
Yeah. And we'll talk with you again soon. Take care.